right, y'all. So now it is that your girl's recording. Let's go ahead. Let's get into this next damn reaction, shall we? Now, love, hello. Hopefully it is I'm saying your name correctly. Shout outs to you. Gen Alpha is racist. Oh. I had to go ahead and hit the subscribe button on you because I don't know why it is I was not subscribed to you earlier. He's a cute little Blasian. Young. Very young. Very young, but I agree with you, Zach. What's up, Prince? How are you? So without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into this next video, shall we?
Gen Alpha is already racist, and some of them are learning racism before they even learn their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah.
It's racist, man. Your dad's teaching that nice and early, huh? Hell that.
Wing wong bing bong. You really can't blame nobody but the parent. And it's not just a one-clip incident. It's stuff like this as well.
She's a rare species over here.
Now, I'm not gonna fault the babies here for saying that. I'm not gonna fault them. I'm not gonna fault them. But the parents is gonna have to see me in GTA. You are gonna have to see me in GTA. Because where did they learn that level of that behavior from? I don't believe in go ahead and, well, let me not say that. It is frowned upon to go ahead and put your hands on other people's children, even though it is back in like with our parents' days. That was a thing it is that absolutely happened, especially in urban cities. But the parents gonna have to see me fix the behavior. And fix the behavior before it is like lock in before I tweak out. Act like it is you have some common sense. If not, I'm gonna have to come back.
She's a rare species of animal to a African-American child. Look at the way they're looking at her like she's a zoo animal in an enclosure, huddled up as if she's some type of rare species and abomination.
Is it because she's the baby?
Yeah, mostly. And she has different color skin, so that's mostly why.
How does she know that? How does she? I blame the parents. I blame the parents for this. I blame the parents for this because how are these girls, these little girls, learn? Where did they learn that behavior from? Where? You got me all the way messed up.
The parent gave you an opportunity talking about something. Is it because she's a baby? You know what it means, bro. She's rare species because she's black. That's the problem, all right? All of them would have been rolling down the playground. All right, slow your roll, buddy. We're still talking about children at the end of the day here, bro. All I see is bowling pins with clothes on. Racist kid uses a whip to threaten a black family.
This happened at her door.
It was terrifying.
This man channeled the spiritual powers of his ancestors and manifested it into a whip. How do you even know what this is? Imagine look.
Where did you even get the whip from? Where did you get the whip from? I blame the parents again.
Looking through your doorbell camera and you see a little white dude who's like 5 years old with a whip. Sounds like a horror movie. Okay, so here's a clip of a Make-A-Wish kid taking the time out of his day to roast black people for I don't know what.
Freaking get rid of fried chicken.
I wonder.
The hospital's nice.
Something you would eat.
Okay, you need to calm down with that.
Damn.
Wow.
You can't make fried chicken jokes.
Wow. Wow. And what's crazy is that man's was sitting here in his phone. And you say that all right, bro.
You would eat.
Okay, you need to calm down with that.
Damn.
You can't make fried chicken jokes. I don't care what condition you have.
I don't care what condition you have, you do not have the capacity to be making fried chicken jokes. And it's funny because the parents in the background are giggling and laughing, but as soon as somebody were to call him out for, I don't know, making disabled joke,
for no
then the room
reason.
gets silent. He had to go. Okay, that's crazy. Bro already put in his 2 weeks. At the end of the day, as messed up as this is, you can't really blame the kid. At the end of the day, bro, it's the parent who's teaching him this type of behavior and this type of racism because racism is not inherited. It is definitely taught. Like, look at these 2 nice children on opposite sides of the spectrum. One, the whitest white, and the other one, the darkest form of dark. And they're having a very nice and enjoyable time, which goes to show that this type of behavior is something taught by the parents, the media, and whatever content they decide to consume or that the parents allow them to consume. Like, look at little Timmy here. He is out here advocating for Martin Luther King and feeling genuine sadness and sorrow for the atrocities he dealt with and the way he was taken out.
The white killed him.
The who?
The white.
Smart kid. He's a smart kid.
Killed him. He was a good man.
He was a good man. He was a great man. Children are like sponges. They gonna believe whatever you tell them. And if you feed them hatred and racism, that's all they're gonna know. And that's why we see behaviors like that in today's day.
I can't breathe, 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 I can't.
So this kid right here is out here advocating for African American rights and things like that. And the comment section, this is an old video by the way. Top comment, white lives matter. The kid is doing positive, trying to spread a positive message about peace, happiness, and equality. And you're out here using your bigoted views and trying to influence children to think like you because you're a bigot. Now, growing up, I definitely experienced racism from other children, especially on games when I was.
I'm sorry, what?
Because you're a bigot. Now, growing up,
1850, 1855.
I definitely experienced racism from other children, especially on games when I was playing games like Call of Duty. Don't ask me why I was playing Call of Duty when I was like 8 years old. So no, it's not necessarily a new concept, but what I did remember thinking is like, okay, when I get older, racism is gonna die out. But now that I'm older, it feels like there's no end, all right? People are teaching their children to hate people based on the color of their skin, and sometimes it's not even their own children. They'll just go out and say crazy things to kids. Here we have a group of white supreme, and they're out here calling young black children the hard R.
Making threats. Can you arrest them? They have to accompany the through town. Got a light brain, bud.
God, I love little fucking It just shows how fucking violent they are at a young age.
Get it like.
The main person, the thug it is that I see was just on the screen, bro. Like this right here at the top. You know what I mean? Like you are red in the face, bro. You are very red. Damn near pink. You trying to say it like, bro, look at this thug, bro. That's so crazy. How is it that you feel comfortable enough? You can go ahead and put them in a whole level, a dangerous environment. You know what I'm saying? Getting bit up by all different types of like endangered species, animals, amphibians, reptiles, all this other shit. You know what I mean? But you scared of us. Make it make sense. They don't have a fear in their heart unless it is that they see us, bro. This is crazy.
It just shows how fucking violent they are at a young age.
Get a life. Matter of fact, get a job. You serve no purpose on this earth, bro. Why are you still here among the rest of us? We would be better off without you. We know things like this is bad, but seeing the results of said racism on these children really puts into perspective of how terrible this really is. So I'm gonna show you guys something called the doll test. All right. Which doll is pretty?
Questa.
The white one, okay? Oh, okay, we got a point at the black one, okay. Which one is ugly? The black one, okay? The nice doll is the white one, okay? Which one is bad? Damn, bro. Like, this is genuinely sad that these children are being taught that people who look like them or the darker skin complexion are automatically bad, negative, ugly. And obviously, they're not born believing this. Somebody is in their ear telling them, yo, being black is this, being black is that. Brief intermission, please make sure you subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Please like the video and subscribe to the second channel as well.
I already did, bro. Well, I'll get to the second channel afterwards. This systemic racism has been taught for decades at this point. It's been taught from not only just as slavery, it's been taught even afterwards, and it's still being perpetuated as of this day. It is so bad that racism has been in other countries. In other countries, it is and it's crazy to think it is like, you know, we have literally us as Black people, we have been in every other country, every single one. You know some history about with the Moors. There was Black people within Asian countries. There was Black people within Italy, bro. There was Black people within Europe. There was Black people within South America. You know what I mean? We were all over. We were the main ones that had to be brought here and built this country. Over 400 years, bro. No reparations. We were supposed to be promised 40 acres and a mule. I'm very grateful it is that Kendrick Lamar, as of recent timing, have made people realize and do research on what that is, of being promised 40 acres a mule by Abraham Lincoln. He gets assassinated, and I forget the man it is that ran in office after it is he got assassinated, but reverted that rule for 40 acres and a mule 6 months after it was implemented. This is bigger than the music. It's just like what Kendrick Lamar said. This is bigger than that. As somebody it is that's African American, and as a African American, a Black American woman at that, having the which one is the bad doll, which one's the nice one, which one's the ugly one, and this caused a lot of disconnections with us, with our skin tone, our hair, our language, culturally is a huge disconnect with us. And then we grow up thinking it is that we are not beautiful, that we are not smart, that we are less than and whatnot, because society tends to stem us as this, when in reality it is that's not the truth at all. Not the truth at all. They try to take away reading and writing, and we still was resilient in a lot of different ways, even through slavery. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that the standard, the beauty standard it's like, man, I can only, if I could ever go back to like my younger self and give a young Auriel a hug and tell her it is A-okay. You are just as beautiful as you are as beautiful as, as can be. You don't need to change these levels of things about with yourself. Sometimes it is we need that. But seeing this doll test, I've seen this like there's old videos from like in the 80s, the 60s, and even further than that of like doing these exams to try to bring out more of that systemic ideology. But this still happens,
Well, and there's nothing they can do but believe it. They're victims. Whether you want to look at the ones who are being racist or the ones who are facing racism, they're all victims to bad parenting. Which one is bad? The black one. And why is that? The black one, okay? Why is this doll bad? Because he's all black. Meanwhile, you are black. Literally self-hate being taught at its finest. And it's crazy because these are all darker skin or darker complexion children.
Correct.
You can see the sadness in her face, dude. They genuinely don't know the implications or ramifications of the words and vernacular they choose to use. It's just objective fact. They think that black is worse, dark is worse, anything black is bad. And I feel like this is incredibly relatable as well. Some of us watching this video, even me, myself, growing up, learned that being darker is bad. Being black is bad. The darker, the worse, the lower IQ, less intelligent, more mean, etc. And a lot of us struggle with identity and self-hate issues growing up, and we had to unlearn all these behaviors. Meanwhile, it's being passed down to the next generation the same way it happened to a lot of us.
Correct.
Bro. And that's why this really hits home, at least for me, bro. You can't help but feel bad for these children. And again, as I said earlier, it's the parents and the media. Like, of course a child is gonna believe that black is worse when they're growing up watching things like this. Y'all know the show Coco Melon, right? Very popular, probably the #1 children's show.
Animals. Which animal am I?
Which animal am I? Let me guess.
Oh, a monkey.
Really, bro? Really, bro?
I'm sorry, chat. Ooh, I've heard of this show, but I've never seen it. Bear with me, chat. I've never seen this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in my 30s. Okay, I don't tend to be watching children's shows. You know what I mean? But whoever was in charge of this segment and thought that this was cool, you gonna have to see me too. There's no way that you are putting this in younger children's shows perpetuating racism. There's no way. Right, Zach. Yo, me and you, we at the same timing. Like, try me, bro. I've never had I've had an instance of like a teacher say that she didn't like black people because of this. We didn't wash our hair every day. I told y'all this story back in the 8th grade that I experienced that. But I've never had somebody that is from the Caucasus of mountains call me the N-word. Never at this point. I'd actually laugh if I heard that. I would probably laugh. I've never outside of just like what I experienced in like junior high, I've never experienced something like this. And it always dawned on me on like, what would a What would a 33-year-old Auriel do if she was to hear this? You know, like actually hear like something like racist in front of her. Like, how would she act? How would she handle the situation? All that stuff. I think about that a lot, actually. I think about that a lot. It's just like, damn, am I gonna get gangster? Or am I gonna laugh it off? Or am I gonna be in shock? Like, I don't know about with it. You know what I mean? I've never had that happen to me before. But my goodness, that's terrible. That's terrible. I cannot believe that. And they put this in this show and thought it was cool.
Bro.
Name? What would a good name be?
Since the fur is black, how about Blackie?
What does that
Nigga,
teach the
what?
children? That's why.
So if it's a white dog, you gonna call it Whitey? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Watching the show. If something is black or someone is black, we gonna call them Blackie. And this is in plenty cartoons. I'm not just cherry picking, but not only is it in kids TV shows, kids cartoons, it's also adults on the streets, like at Disneyland. Well, this ain't Disneyland right here, but this is Chuck E. Cheese, and this is a Sesame Street event. We just not saying hello to the black children. And then here at a Little League parade, okay, so we're throwing out candy, baseballs, goods, and items to the children. Give him some candy. Oh, what about the two black children sitting here? Oh, get skipped, buddy. Okay, next parent up. Oh, you skipping them too?
Kids are racist. Have you ever heard kids are colorblind? Hatred is taught. Well, that assumption is not only wrong, it's harmful. Psychology says that humans default to the belief that difference equals deficit. So unless they're taught differently, children assume that different races are inferior. This tendency is then subtly affirmed by the systemic racism they see on TV, at school, and in social situations.
I don't know, bro. I don't think that kids are naturally racist. I think that the stuff that they are taught is what plagues their brain. I think a child's brain is simply just a rock, a pea-sized brain with nothing inside of it. And then it's being forced to watch certain shows or see certain stuff online or hear certain jokes, and that's when it transforms its mind into being racist, because nobody starts off default racist. All right, you're not born with a racist gene. You don't come out the womb talking about some fried chicken and watermelon and hanging around and throwing whips around and smacking people's doors with whip. Like, for example, this right here. Yes, I'm Indian. Yes, my favorite sport is cricket. Yes, I don't shower. Yes, I eat street food, and yes, I smell like dog. This has to be created by somebody who's like 10 years old, bro. Don't forget, bro, Gen Alpha was born in like what, 2012, 2013? Let's find out. Actually, Gen Alpha is from 2010 to 2024. Gen Alpha is 15 years old. If that made you feel old, I'm sorry, bro. Any of y'all who's watching this video who was born in the 1900s, deathbed is knocking, all right? It's knocking.
Relax. Relax, okay? Talking to somebody, this is 1992. Relax. I was just saying this too, like 15 years ago in 2010, I started college. It's crazy. It's so crazy to think. It's such a blur too. It doesn't feel like 15 years went by. Golly, you know, an 18-year-old Auriel, because back then people was not calling me Ari. Ari has been more of an adopted name from 2018 and beyond. But dang, an 18-year-old Auriel going into college. Shit, you know, that's crazy.
Would you still love me if I was Indian? This might be another 15-year-old, which tells me that Gen Alpha is racist. For some reason, when I think of Gen Alpha, bro, I think of like little miniature like babies.
You said ask them what's Skype or MySpace. Bro, MySpace had me almost switching my entire major, bro. I was like, dang, like I'm encoding my page so well, I might as well do like computer science for college, not criminal justice or, you know, journalism. You know what I mean?
Some children. Don't clip that, bro. Young people, really young people. But Gen Alpha's older, way older than I thought, bro. And I'm not just going off the stuff that's on the internet, because I have younger siblings who are Gen Alpha, and they tell me about racist experiences at school all the time. The other day, my younger brother was telling me about how there are often children who are young black saying anti-black things, the N-word, and it just shows that this stuff truly does happen from Generation Alpha. Like, we got clips like this. Bro said that with some bass in it. Emphasis on the hard R. He said that like his name was John Smith and he rides horses all day.
He said that as just like he never got his ass whooped before. He said, listen, I've even had this conversation with my younger brother. He's graduated out of high school now, but he has a little bit of like, oh, like the black people, they're ghetto, this, and this. Is like, but you're also black. Don't forget that. Don't get that twisted. But then you got a lot of Hispanics. I hate to call y'all out. Shout outs to my Hispanics, but y'all ones it is y'all voted for Trump, or y'all be saying the hard R. No, I'm not talking about y'all. Just sit down. Tend to say that word quite a bit. You are feeling a little too like I don't know who you feeling like. I don't know who it is you feeling like, but you said that hard R with some bass as if like you ain't never got your ass slapped before in GTA, YouTube, in Twitch, in GTA. I'm not advocating any violence here by all means. Thank you.
And that's just that, right?
Buddy, aren't you Hispanic? Do you think you're on the team? They don't rock with you like that, bro. Racist whites in the South, they don't rock with you. They will have you hanging with the fishes the same.
They for sure don't. The same Hispanics that voted for Trump, their families getting deported. They're getting deported as we speak. So I'm like, yo, you got a lot of nerve.
Wait, they had us hanging with the fishes. Who do you think you are? At the end of the day, bad parenting is the source of this horrible behavior. For the kid in the beginning of the video to be saying ching chong to Asian people, and the same thing with all types of anti-black rhetoric, this person's a strange species abomination. Teach your children that racism is bad. Another thing I want to mention, not only do they consume racist cartoons or racist TV shows, but also the content creators, especially streamers. By the way, like 90% of Twitch streamer audiences are like 15 years old and younger. For example, we have people like Nick Fuentes, who says things like your body, my choice.
When we control your bodies, guess what?
Don't get me started on Andrew Tate and the things that he says.
The worst thing it is in politicians right now is having men that will never experience what cramps feel like, what menstrual cycles be like, pregnancy, you know, having to get emergency medical assistance or a DNC when you have a miscarriage or like an abortion and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? For somebody that like went through a miscarriage, went through that, but didn't have to get a DNC. That's life-threatening situations. You know what I'm saying? Like life-threatening surgeries where it is you could die from something like that. May I add, birthing a child, you know, breastfeeding, raising children, going through the level of sexism within jobs because men and their broken, fragile, feeble egos can't just fathom a woman making more money than them in the same company. The worst thing it is that you can ever have is men trying to regulate women's bodies and the rights to their bodies. Shit is crazy.
We control your bodies. Guess what?
Don't get me started on Andrew Tate and the things that he says.
Why can't you get a job? I can't find a job. Everyone can find a job. You can pick strawberries. You can do something.
And even Sneeko a little while ago went on a crazy red-pilled rant, and he ran into some of his fans in public.
Did you say the woman?
What, everybody? Oh no!
The woman.
What? No.
And you see why it is that I don't like red pill content. You see why it is that I don't like red pill content. Because the kids like to go ahead and motor mouth something to this. Hey, listen, you know, like I said before, our parents, generations, used to put their hands and feet on other kids. That was disrespectful. By all means, I can call my dad right now and he would tell you a story of a neighbor going ahead and have them put hands and feet on him and my uncles, and then going up to my grandparents' house to tell them, oh yeah, I just put my hands on your kids for being disrespectful. Go and then got another ass whooping because of that from parents. Hey man, I'm not advocating for it. I'm not advocating for it at all. I'm really not. However, there is a lack of respect from the younger generation. There's a lack of respect. There's a lack of, you know, common decency of what it is that you're supposed to say and not supposed to say. You know what I mean? Like, I would never sit there and say anything like that. Ever. I would never do that. You know what I mean? We might need that back. No, that's crazy. Not within this economy, bro. You know how sensitive it is? Hell no.
No, wait.
They'll call CPS so fast.
We love women. We love women.
But not like Fenton.
What have I done?
And I feel like this really emphasized for him and for everybody watching that the consumers of this are being like indoctrinated into this mindset of bigotry, and they're all Gen Alpha. Another thing that really sucks is that I can tell this is gonna take them years to unlearn if they ever do unlearn it. I'm pretty sure all of us grew up learning something that was hateful and having to unlearn it and realize, yo, I was tripping. The people who taught me this, they were bugging out, and they're gonna have to go down that same path, which shows that we're not really progressing the way we want to. Because if the next generation is going through the exact same thing our generation and the previous generation went through, what type of progress is that? Gen Alpha is already full of a bunch of badass little kids. Like, I've seen countless videos of people saying that they're terrified of teenagers in public because they're so rude, mean, and obnoxious.
Yes.
They do not tell you about these teenagers in the parenting books. They're fucking brutal.
Empathy is down about 40% in teenagers these days because they're doing a lot of their relationships on digital platforms. That is removing the opportunity for them to see the impact of their words and actions on the receiver's face, body language, in the tone of their words.
And once they get even older, they might become dangerous incels that nobody can do anything about. They might be the next generation of full-on racists that don't hide it. In conclusion, parents, watch your kids. Watch the media they consume. Watch the YouTubers they watch. Watch the cartoons. Because racism, bigotry, hatefulness, spitefulness, whatever you want to call it, all these negative qualities are all hidden throughout these kid shows or these content creators, and teaching them things that they should not be getting their brain wrapped around. And
listen, there's a lot of sexual innuendos in cartoons as well. I see why grandparents was just like, hey, don't let her watch that show. Don't let him watch that show. I know it is. They had that in these TV shows, these cartoons. You don't realize the subtle racism, the sexual jokes. You don't realize it until you get older. And you're just like, wait, hold on. This was in cartoons? Yes. Yes.
Making them hate themselves or hate other people of other races. And for the parents who are flat out teaching their children racism, there's not much I can say for you, bro. We're waiting for your expiration date like some expired
It
milk.
was that
Nobody
damn
gonna miss
phone.
you. I think Gen Z, Gen X, and Boomers are low-key teaching Gen Alpha how to be racist and bigoted. We saw kids being racist to other kids. We saw parents being racist to kids. We saw adults being racist to kids. Racism from teenagers online. And we saw the psychological effect of racism on young kids, teaching them to hate themselves, which is something that I and a lot of you guys watching this video experienced growing up. And as I said before, it can take lots of years of unlearning, and maybe they never even unlearn it, bro. Let me know if you think I'm tripping about this topic. Do you think it's not that deep? Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Do you think that Gen Alpha is already racist? Have you dealt with any racism from Gen Alpha? Remember, Gen Alpha is anyone from 15 to like 1 year old. But that is gonna do it for today's video. With that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all boys, girls, theys, and thems in the next one. It's love, hello. I love you.
Love, hello. There we go. Boom. Okay. Very informative video. I like that. I like that. Love, hello. Shout outs to you. Thank you so much for the video. Shout outs to y'all in the chat. Shout outs to you at home. And I'll catch y'all in the next video.